Inside the Circle Season 4, Episode 2.2, because, Sean,
I don't care.
we have individual rankings.
This guy and his 4.8652.
1.21 gigawatts.
Has
Sean,
anybody ever watched the show and said, hey, did you see that 14.25 episode?
No.
No, they don't.
No,
Okay.
they sure don't. Episode 4.2.2. Coming at you, individual rankings. We're doing 4 weight classes right here.
This is what
4.
the people want.
This is what the people want. Easily, we'll get 75 views on this video alone. 106, 113, 120, and 126 right here, right now. Sean, break it down. 106 pounds. I got nothing to do now. I got nothing to do.
Let's
I'll
get
just stand
started.
here.
106. Number 1 guy coming in is a really surprise, Bracken Mead.
Ooh, I'm surprised.
Really?
No.
One of 15 guys that didn't cash in their Willy Wonka golden ticket last year when Zach Donaldson didn't make weight, but there was a happy ending as he got a silver goose at the end. Just started wrestling this weekend. He got first at the Old Tangy Liberty tournament. I think the big thing there wasn't him winning it again, as I talked about, is him getting down to 106, making
Yes.
scratch for the first time. I think was his goal of that day, but in the tournament winner there just seemed to be a little bit of bonus there. But he is a Fargo AA, had a great Super 32. I think he is a solid choice here, number 1. At number 2, we're going with Gio DeSabato, a guy who has made absolutely huge strides. Every time I see this guy, he seems to get better and better and better.
Yes.
When I see him at the All-Star, he looked phenomenal. And then when I see him 2 weeks later at the Old Tangy Lewis Center Invitational, he looked even better than phenomenal. I really like this guy. I think these 2 guys are just way ahead of the rest of the field. They're going to be banging it and banging it and banging it.
And I'll be loving every minute of it because that's going to
At
be a
number
great
3, it really starts to get dicey. The drop off from these 2 guys is astronomical. I don't think there's anybody in the district that can go with these guys at all. So there's a huge gap from the top 2 to the bottom 2. At number 3, we're going to go with Hayes from Mount Vernon, coming off that win at the Bad Apple.
Right.
Had a couple wins at district last year. Solid kid. He's either a junior or senior, and that's huge in itself.
Yeah.
To have an upperclassman at the introductory weight, I think it's a huge advantage where basically you have a lot of freshmen and sophomore there. But at number 3, we're going to go with Hayes. At number 4, going to give the City League some love here. We're going to go with Rodriguez
Definitely.
from Whetstone. A guy, I think I seen him wrestle 20 yesterday. Maybe weighed in at 13, bumped up just to get a match. But I'm assuming he's going to be here at 106 come turning time. But again, a kid who had great success last year, won the City League title, won a couple matches at Darby, and has done a lot of wrestling over the summer.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
I've seen that guy in the competition rooms we've had during the summer here,
Yep.
and I expect great things out of him.
So someone takes advantage of it, starts moving up the
There we go.
ladder.
Maybe guys to look out for here is Zach Williams from Delaware, Juice Box. That never gets old. I like that. And then we have I can't even pronounce the name from Grove City. Nagaduska, maybe. I'm sorry, man. I'm terrible with names. But look for that guy to be in the mix as well.
Medusa.
Way to go, Mark. Way to go.
I think that's right.
I would rank this as the 9th toughest
Ooh.
weight at Darby. I think the top 2 guys are, like I said, superstars, but once that, we're really getting to a lot of experience. And when we rank these weight classes, we're going to look at top 4, top 5 even so. As great as the top 2 guys are, I would put this as the 9th toughest weight at Darby. Now looking in the big picture, obviously the top 2 boys I think are all in for all the marbles. I expect one of these guys, if not both of them, to be in the finals. And then the next 2 guys behind that who qualify out of Darby, happy to be at the show. So,
I'd be happy to be at the show.
so that is 106 for us.
106. Moving up to 113.
113.
I really don't have anything to do here.
We don't
Sean.
have anything to do. This
Yeah.
guy, I mean, he's going to go home and just talk and talk and talk. I'm like,
Break down 113.
but
Give the people what they
113,
want.
there's 2 guys here. I think maybe are going to come into co-favorites. Chase Colton from Lancaster got a solid district champ last year at 106. Solid placer, hasn't wrestled yet, still a little bumped up. And Jarrett Laxo coming down from 20. Everyone knows, who's ever watched the show, I get nervous when guys move up from whatever the introductory weight was. Back when it was 103, back when it was 98, regardless of what it is, when you move up, I just start to get nervous. Laxo wrestled 120 last year because of state runner-up Maddox at 13.
Right.
Now he's coming back down to 13. I mean, he was a placer. He was a state qualifier at 120. 2 years ago, he was my pick to win it at Darby in the whiteboard prediction, still qualified. We got up to Ironman, had some wins. Again, it was a tough, brutal weight there, but I really like Jaron Laxo. I think this guy's going to be dangerous at 113. him and Chase. I'm going to go co-favorites here. I don't really like to do that, but since Chase hasn't wrestled and he is a state placer, I really don't want to bug him down, but I'm really high on Laxo as well. So this is the one time and the only time I'm going to go co-favorites here at 113.
Mark it down. You were not that guy last week,
What
2
is
weeks
this?
ago.
This green screen stuff, man. It's got me all screwed up here.
Flustered.
At number 3, we're going with the bad boy Bangladesh.
The Bangladesh bad boy from Dublin Kaufman.
Dublin Kaufman. Husan. Guy just won at 120 at the Bad Apple.
Yes.
Transu did forfeit to him. So I really like what I've seen that match. Give us that barometer where both those guys are at. He will be up in North Kent Hoover. I'm thinking he's going to be down at 113, so that would be great. He was state alternate last year, losing to Furnace in a crazy match that could have went any way. I mean, this guy could be a state qualifier last year, and I wouldn't have been surprised. That really was a crazy match, but he did lose and ended up getting the state alternate spot as well. After him, this is kind of getting chippy at this weight as well. It's kind of a drop off after the top 2 and then a drop off after the top 3. At number 4 right now, we're going to go with Harris from Tri Valley. Bad Apple champion a couple weeks ago. Really didn't have anybody to challenge him. I'm not sure what their schedule is going forward, so I don't know what to look at for him to maybe get a look on him. But right now, I think he's holding down the number 4 spot. And the people to think about maybe that could sneak up in there would be Harper Nelson from UA, who was the UA champ, and then Shear from Western North, who just won at the Kilted Classic, is another guy. Again, I think these Western North people might start popping up in these big tournaments, so we'll see him in Medina. And right now, that is the top 4, and then 2 other guys to think about as well at 113.
113. So let's break down 120, Sean. I gotta get in. I gotta interject every now and again.
At 113, I have it as the 6th toughest weight in our district.
Nice.
This guy, he's getting
Sorry, rushing him along.
The green board screwing him up as 2. I will put this weight as the 6th toughest weight at Derby. Again, the top 2 guys are kind of head and shoulders above most of the field. I expect the top 2 to be somewhere to a mid to low possibility at states. I really like the guys in the north at this weight class. Yates, the kid from Brecksville, Bronstop, Edwards from Lorraine. I really think the Cleveland has a hammerlock on this weight in the state pictures. 113, and I expect our guys to fit in somewhere around the mid to low placing at the shot. So.
All right, now 120.
You can talk.
Now 120. I'm invited at the bit over here, man. 120 pounds.
120 pounds here. This weight is starting to finally take shape to me. There was a couple kids I thought maybe would come down to 120, but it appears that's not going to happen. You basically have five guys interchanging. No one really headed the other one. I really had a hard time putting an accurate, what I thought, pecking order of this weight class could be. And I end up landing on Jordan Roselli. He is a returning state qualifier at the weight, which nobody else can say. He did have that win yesterday at the Old Tangent Liberty, beating Hood from Mason in a match that could be argued. Roselli did get out wrestled. I mean, that match really could have went either way. So, but it wasn't his first tournament of the year. I'll give him a little slack for that. But right now, he's my number 1 guy at 120. At number 2, I'm going Sharp. He did wrestle 20 at the All-Star. He was 26 yesterday at the Kilted Classic. I know he flopped with the 26-pounder there, so I'm not sure if he ends up being there. I'm just assuming that he is since he made it for the All-Star, and maybe he's just going to wait or his alpha doesn't let him get back down to 20 time. But right now, I'll put him in here. I think this is the guy that the state rankers kind of forgot about. He just really had a bad Derby last year. He was injured. He really never got his legs underneath him, really never got in a rhythm. I think he was a lot better than his Derby showed. Yeah. And I expect him to do great things this year, and right now we'll slot him at number 2. At number 3, we're going Transu from Dublin, Jerome, a kid who I thought maybe might move down to 13, but it appears he's locked in here at 120, was district runner-up last year at 106, loses to Gio DeSabato in the blood round down at the shot in a crazy one-point match that could have went either way. He did forfeit the final match at the Bad Apple, but he is another guy that we'll see up here at North Kent Hoover in a week to maybe find out where he's at as well. And right now we're going to slot him in at number 3. At number 4, we're going to go Collins from CCHS, a kid that maybe at the beginning of the year people thought maybe back down to 6, but last year coming to 13, but it appears that he is going to compete at 120. I think, did he wrestle at Circleville?
I did not see his name. He may have. I don't remember seeing that name.
Yeah, I don't see his name either, so I'm not sure. I think he has, but I'm not sure if he's wrestled yet.
I gotta think he has.
You gotta think we're 3rd week. We're having him at 120 right now. He was a state alternate, as mentioned last year at 106. And no, he did. I got it written down here. He did win the Circuitville tournament.
There you
so
go.
120. So he has
So many results.
He won the Circuitville Invitational, state alternate. We'll put him in there. And maybe someone to think out for if you're looking for a guy outside the top 5, the top 4 or 5 that can make a run is Ben Matrice from Thomas Worthington. Matrice.
Matrice, sure.
I think he got 2nd or 3rd at the Olentangy Lewis Center Invitational.
Okay.
When we look at this weight as a state weight, I have this weight as the 7th toughest at Darby. I think all these guys are capable or respectable of being state qualifiers, but 120 is really tough in our state when you start thinking of Aaron Hart from St. Ed's, Bowman, again. I mean, it really starts to get crazy. And I think the aspirations for anybody coming out of this district is try to be in that 7th and 8th place match on Saturday. This is really just a tough spot for these guys. Again, they all deserve to be state qualifiers, but after that, I think they're probably going to be on the lower end of the stick once they get to the shot.
Okay, well, you heard it. He said don't try. No, just kidding. I'm just
Don't
teasing.
try to sit down. Moving to 126. 126 I have as the 5th toughest weight at Darby. And on top here we're going with Cameron Latham. 2-time district finalist already, returning district champ. A kid
Yes.
who I thought we might see at 120, but he's another one that appears to be settled in. I'm comfortable at 126. Solid win at Liberty last week. Had a close match with Mitch Moore. Mitch Moore from St.
One of the Moore brothers.
The lower one is
yeah.
Mitch Moore, St. Paris Graham at Marysville, where he loses a takedown at the end, 3-1. Really looked great in the finals. Really opened up on Furnace. Maybe won by 7 or 8 points. I really didn't expect that because Cameron wrestles a lot of low-scoring matches, but he really opened up in the finals there, and I expect him to have great success this year. At number 2, we're going to go with Volpe Furnace Slash from Olentangy Liberty. They're not sure what their line is going to be. Both guys are going to be somewhere around 26 and 32, 38. They're not sure which one is going to be there yet. Volpe still has to get down. Furnace has been wrestling there. So right now we're going to go a Volpe Furnace Slash there at number 2. Volpe returning state qualifier. Furnace returning state qualifier as well.
Wow.
So whoever they put
What a
in.
great problem to have.
And they both won a match at the state. So it's not like they just got there and bowed out after getting teched and pinned at 0-2. They actually won matches and got in that blood round. So whoever goes there for Liberty, regardless of which one it is a solid number 2 to me at this point.
Nice.
At number 3, we're going from Watkins here. We're going to give some love to Andrew Lieb. He was actually my favorite, the number 1 pick at 120. I thought he was going to be there, and I had him as the number 1 guy, but I think from what we're hearing, he's going to be at 126. So we're going to put him at 3rd at 126.
He's like 6 foot tall. I don't even know how he entertained the thought.
I think that's just with the hair. With
Yeah.
the haircut, but, they wrestled a couple doubles. He's looked great. No one's really challenged him. He'll be at North Kent Huber again. That's like a never-ending theme. North Kent Huber, North Kent Huber.
I can't wait to see
And
results.
you're wondering if I'm going up there. I can't miss all that, but he'll be up
It's
there.
gonna be great.
He's our number 3 guy. He was 3rd in the district last year at 113. Actually won a match as well. So again, these guys are winning matches. They're just not going there to get their ring and their watch and stuff. They're actually going there to compete. So
Eat some ice cream in the future.
that's
Dippin' Dots, baby.
Dippin' Dots, this guy. So we'll put him at number 3. At number 4, we're going Charlie Osborne.
Worthington Kilbourne.
Worthington
yes.
Kilbourne. Gets out in the 4th spot last year at Darby at 120. The 4th 120 at Darby gets 4th there. Had a really rough way to go with the state tournament, but I think it was just enough to get him dedicated to the sport, put in a lot of time in the offseason. I expect him to do good things there, and I'm not sure where Worthington Kilbourne goes next. So we'll just have to wait and get some results from Coach Shop there.
I'm sure he'll tweet us probably in about 10 seconds.
There you go. I got him as a solid 4 here. There's guys I think under this weight that we should look out for though. I got Hosterman here. I know he wrestled at 20 yesterday. But he's a district placer as well. JT Woods. Central Crossing is another district placer here that we should keep an eye on. And then Josh Grant, who has that pin over
the Marysville.
I always get it confused.
Sharp.
I don't know why I would say Sparks there, but it's Sharp. So you got 3 guys there, Willie in the wings there can go with any of these guys. So
that's a tough weight class.
That is a tough weight class. It's only the 5th toughest.
What?
What does the 1, 2, 3, and 4 look like? My God.
I would have to say stick around.
Right, so
Maybe you'll know.
that's
Good. Finish it out.
okay, that's your top guys in the first 4 weights at Darby.
I love that.
You love that?
I do love that. I love that you're ranking the weight classes as well. for me to just sit here and just be quiet for the 20 minutes, I gotta say something. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta do something.
But
Say yes, no,
yes,
maybe, I don't
exactly.
know. Okay.
But those are your weight classes. 106, 113, 120, and 126. We'll be coming back with 132, 138, 145, and 152, and we'll get the breakdown.
I do want to say one thing in the state picture of 126. Outside of Latham, I don't think we have people that could finish that high. 126 again. You got Lambert, Donahue, Mackle. Those guys are just like D1 college guys that are really hard to beat. So I expect Cameron to be somewhere around the mid to low range, and then the rest of the guys maybe trying to get in that 7th and 8th spot. So,
You know what we ought to do, Sean? Is we ought to make a shirt for each and every state qualifier. This way, when they become state champs or state thirds, and you said they were gonna, maybe 0-2, you'll have to wear their shirt. Prove them wrong, that's what I say. Either way, now you are inside the circle.